Wild weather rocked parts of the North Island this morning as a thunderstorm and torrential rain hit. And although it's nice and sunny here now in Auckland, it recorded one of its wettest hours on record earlier, causing widespread flooding and chaos. More than 4,000 lightning strikes were recorded in an hour, 700 in just 5 minutes, and there were tornado warnings in place too. Several schools such as Orewa College and Red Beach School have closed due to flooding. And as the storm moves further south, the aftermath is being seen. Victoria Park looking more like it would host a water sports event on its cricket pitch. Weather Watch head forecaster Philip Duncan said while the worst appears to be over for Auckland, other parts of the country should stay on alert.
We're seeing this fairly narrow line, what we call a convergence zone, where the two winds meet, or you end up with these big cloud build-ups, and that's what we've seen over the Auckland area, and that's why the rainfall totals are so big. We recorded over 100 millimetres at our office in West Auckland. That's well over a month's worth of rain for this time of the year. So other parts of Auckland would have had more than that as this very slow-moving convergence zone moved down across the city and had those severe thunderstorms along with it. This narrow area of rain is sort of sliding down our eastern and northeastern coastlines, so that will take it into the Coromandel Peninsula, eastern Waikato, and then down into Bay of Plenty, so hugging those areas and right over to East Cape as well, bringing with it the risk of thunderstorms and downpours, slips and flooding, and that isolated tornado risk. But north of that, the risk becomes a lot smaller, and so it's not perfect because we've still got a northerly flow, high humidity. There's still the chance of some big thunderstorms over the next couple of days, but the main energy part today is tracking southwards along our eastern coastline of the North Island. Bay of Plenty have got a number of days ahead with this same setup sort of stalling over them, and then by about Wednesday, Thursday, the low that's in the Tasman falls apart and creates a new low pressure zone, and that's going to actually put more energy into it. So that drifts more out towards the eastern Bay of Plenty, East Cape, Gisborne, Hawke's Bay side of things, and then it'll ease for Auckland and Northland. But the thunderstorm risk, that's around for a couple more days yet. Yeah, I'd say the risk is fairly high for an isolated tornado today because you've really got the right system for it. You've got this big low pressure zone in the Tasman, that's the energy maker. That is not moving anywhere fast. And the big strong windy nor'easters that we had on Sunday have now moved down the country, so it's a lot calmer. So when you have calm conditions, high humidity and a low pressure zone, that all adds to the fuel that can create a tornado. But they are isolated. It looks like we're going back into a settled period of weather after this. So the rain very welcome, but there might not be much of a follow-up for it. So any downpours this week, that's a good thing. But really, as we head towards the weekend, the southerly flow comes back, and there's another high pressure zone south of Australia, and actually looks pretty quiet in the New Zealand and Australia areas for maybe the rest of the month. So this is a big moment, but it'll ease by about Wednesday, Thursday. The rain is welcomed by very many people. We've been, not just Auckland, but the upper North Island has been in a rainfall deficit for 4 years now. It's a really long time. And the native forests are noticing it. People who are gardeners and farmers, they're noticing it. So this rain, very welcome, although I'm sure there's been areas where there's been too much of it. Obviously that's going to cause flooding and slips and problems with infrastructure, but for the most part, I think there'll be a lot of happy people at the moment with that rain. Auckland tends to get a thundery setup like this maybe once or twice every 10 years. So this is something that we do get from time to time, but because we've been in this rainfall deficit for so long, it's been a long time since we've seen something quite like this.